Hey guys, it is Meg from Meg Rogers Nutrition Coaching coming at you right live. Okay, all right, so let's dive right in. Do you have people in your life who are not supporting your goals? Maybe it's family, maybe it's coworkers, and they're all trying to sabotage your efforts. But what if that person is your spouse? And that person who's your soulmate, your best friend, the one who's supposed to be your number one supporter, is not supporting you at all. What do you do? Let's talk about this, as I know that this is a really common issue and one that we actually had in our home about 4 years ago. And years ago, my husband of all people started first, and I was the queen of sabotaging him. I refused to make what would help I refused to make what would help him. I refused to work out with him. I was an awesome, I was just really an awesome wife. But for many of my clients, that role is actually reversed, and it's the husband that's sabotaging. So let's talk about this if that is you. If you're catching the replay, drop hashtag replay below. If you're catching this live, say hi, let me know that you're here. So one of our Fit family members actually shared, and she said, as I'm sitting here, I am thinking I was going to start last Monday, getting back on track and working on me. I let my family know that I was going to need help. And Monday night, my husband comes home with chocolate, and he tells me if I wanted a skinny wife, I would have married one. He loves me just the way that I am. And I asked for help. And any ladies have this problem? And if so, what did you do? And so I love this, that she actually shared this, to be vulnerable like this. It's a really good thing, because it means that you truly do want change, you really want help, you don't know what to do, and you're asking. And I love that she was willing to open up. So, because there are so many women that have been in her shoes, that are in her shoes, and they have the wisdom that she needs, or the women that need this wisdom can actually see this wisdom and actually share, oh my gosh, I'm struggling too. I'm so glad that you said that. So a lot of times a spouse or friends or family, whatever, they are sabotaging you due to a fear-based insecurity that they have. And that was actually true for myself. I sabotaged my husband. I believed that he was going to get all fit and hot, and I was just going to stay this frumpy, dumpy, depressed, and miserable wife. And then he was going to leave me for somebody better. Hey, Andrea. So I sabotaged out of my own insecurity. And another mom actually shared her husband sabotaged her and would make jokes that, oh my gosh, you're going to lose all this weight and you're going to leave me. And when she asked him if he felt that this was true, he actually admitted a few months later that, yeah, I really do believe that. Ladies, when anybody is starting to make a change in life, whether it is you or your family or somebody else, it's threatening. It's scary. At first, people are like, oh my gosh, that's great. I'm so proud of you. You're such an inspiration, and they're watching you. But then their mind starts to run off, and it quickly gets the best of them, and it starts leading them to worst case thinking. And your changing is basically shining a light on what others are refusing to do or face. And oh my God, we cannot have that. So, I'm going to sabotage you until you fail. And, you are not going to go to this next level in life. I want you back here with me on this level. So I'm going to sabotage you and bring you back down until we're even again, because I don't want to face it. So no, you're not going to do it and show me what could happen if I did something. And it's a really scary thing. So first things first, when this happens, you have to share with them and be honest with them. How do you want to feel? So my girl Carrie shared, she's like, my husband would love me if I weighed 500 pounds. And I had explained to him that no matter how much he loved me, if I didn't love myself, I was going to be unhappy. And I explained it in much detail, and he doesn't want to see you struggle, so he enables you. But he needs to understand that he can't save you from yourself. You have to. So when you start to love yourself and get healthy, you'll be able to give him more. So I know most of us, myself included, hey Lori, we all started this path for superficial reasons. We wanted to look good naked or look good in our clothes. And it's not about getting skinny. It's about feeling our best. It's about feeling energized. It's about feeling confident, and I help my ladies to focus heavily on mindset versus weight loss, because what you see in the mirror, what's depressing you, you, what you despise and what's making you feel like, oh God, I don't even want to see that, has nothing to do with your inability to stop eating crap and more about your subconscious lies that you were believing. Because when you heal this, the weight loss is a side effect. And when you fix this, the body fixes itself every single time. So when you start to change, those closest to us, especially our spouses, will sometimes sabotage us because they've watched us fail over and over, and they believe that they're trying to protect us from ourselves because the past times that we have done this, we've always failed, so they're just trying to help us. Sometimes this isn't the case. And a couple years ago, one of my fit sisters actually shared that she joined Weight Watchers and was doing awesome. She was feeling good. And then her spouse brought home ice cream at the end of that week because his insecurities ultimately were running high and he was trying to sabotage her. And she refused the ice cream, which was hard. But from that point on, she taught him how to treat her. And another fit family member shared this, which was great for helping to give another perspective. I didn't say who it was. She said, where was it? What did Michelle say? Hold on, I gotta find it. She said, tell him that you know he would love you no matter what you weigh, but you have to love yourself too. Be honest with him about why you're working on better health and fitness. It's hard for people we love to realize how we feel about ourselves. And I think they've seen us try before and miserable when we fail in quick fixes and fad diets, and they don't initially understand. And honestly, neither do we at first, because this way is different. It's a lifestyle change, not a diet. We have support in this group, and we work on sustainability and mindset changes. It scares them a little bit, and maybe a lot, maybe us too. And that big changes are happening, not just physically, but mentally and spiritually as well. There is just so many things. Change is not just like you're afraid of, I'm going to say this. I'm afraid of change. Change is really scary. I'm like, oh my gosh, how is this going to change my life? What is this going to do? Change is scary, not just for you, which is why I encourage you to have support. And this is probably why you've always failed. I know for me, and probably 99% of the women that I've worked with, they have failed because they didn't have support. I do have strong opinions on this now based on experience in this field for years, working with hundreds of sisters. Change is hard, even if it's for the better. Exactly. Everything, maybe your kids are been a little entitled and kind of spoiled, and now you're trying to get that back in line again. It's going to be hard. It's going to be a living hell for a little bit. Or maybe your kids are picky eaters and you've decided, you know what, I'm the parent, it is my job to teach them to eat properly. Guess what? It's going to be hard. It's going to be hell for a little bit. Everything you do in life is going to be hard. You want to get up earlier? It's going to be hard. You want to go to bed earlier? It's going to be hard. Everything is going to have resistance of some sort in your life. Carissa, me too. You're not alone. But sister, you teach people how to treat you. If you are not making it crystal clear that they cannot keep doing those things or saying those unsupportive things and that you won't accept it, you're teaching them how to treat you. If you shrink back every time that somebody tells you you don't need it, well, guess what? What you allow is going to grow. So the reason, she's struggling is because she's choosing to listen to other people's opinions over her own. And she's trying to force herself to be happy with what somebody else feels like she should look like and she should do and how she should feel. Is this you? Are you doing the same thing in your life? Because I know for a fact I can go through my messages right now and find 30 other ladies off the top of my head in the exact same situation. Oh, my husband says I should do this and I should just be fine with it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, do you not have, you have your own brain. Come on. No, stop trying to do what other people are telling you to do and actually feel your feelings. This is what you're teaching your kids if you're not. But I love this. My girl Talisa shared, acknowledge that you appreciate their comments of loving you the way that you are, but you want this change for you and you need help. And, what was it? Sorry, I lost my train of thought. Not everybody is going to understand your journey, and they're going to try to possibly sabotage you, your coworkers, your family, your friends. And you honestly, you just have to be strong and remember why. Why are you doing this? And check in with us when you are struggling. Like, she's right. Sadly, those closest to us are not the most supportive. I was not supportive at all. Like, I was the queen of trying to get you to quit and bring him back down to my level. But guys, here's the tough love part. A person should not have to ask for permission to better their lives. And unfortunately, I see this especially with stay-at-home moms. I'm a stay-at-home mom, been one for 16 years. A person should never have to ask for permission to better their lives. A person should never have to have another person believe in them for them to better their lives. You should want this first and foremost for yourself. If you're doing this for your kids, you're going to fail. If you're doing this for your spouse, you're going to fail. You need to do this for you. You are going to have to be a little selfish. If you can't love yourself, how do you expect to give true love to anybody else? Lori, Autumn says they will ask you why, and then once they see how great you feel, then they will ask you how. Exactly. It is not until after you have put in all of that little work, which I'm actually going to go live and talk about in the group. It's not until you've put in all that little mundane work every single day and stayed consistent before you're going to have success. And people are going to be like, oh my gosh, okay, teach me, because everybody sees the before and the after, but they don't see what's going on in between. But if they don't support that, if you're going to them, or you should want this, like I said, for yourself first and foremost. And if they don't support that, then that's a whole other situation that you have to deal with in your marriage. But if you want this, you should be doing this first and foremost for yourself. And I've witnessed this so many times. Hey, Crystal, with spouses telling their wives, no, you can't better yourself. So they sold their kids' clothes. They did whatever they needed to do to make it happen. And I can't imagine going to my husband and being like, hey babe, I want to get healthy, better my life, and I want to do something that'll teach me all that I need to do to help me to feel good in my skin and love what I see in the mirror every day. Are you okay with me doing that? If somebody didn't support that, you guys, you have some really serious marriage issues that you need to address. And I'm all for honoring spouses like God intended. Yes, I believe the man's in my house, I believe the man is the head of the house, but not at the expense of enabling somebody else's insecurities. So I always hear, the biggest excuse I hear is, well, I would, but I'm a stay-at-home mom and I have no income. No, sister, you don't want change because you don't believe you're worthy. I've been a stay-at-home mom for 16 years now. I've never worked outside the home. I've never had that typical income, but that's never stopped me. And I have brought in more income than probably the average person. Why? Because I changed my thinking. Crystal, I always have trouble with change. I tell myself I can do it, and then once it comes, I freak myself out. That's normal, and that's why I give you those little steps to do all the time, because those little steps are going to be the things that are going to help you to have the toolbox to be able to calm yourself down when your emotions are trying to control you. But if you truly want this, if you truly want change, you will commit, you will move mountains, you will make it happen. End of story. You can do whatever you believe you're capable of doing, but it all starts in your mind. If that feels impossible, then guess what? Strengthening your mindset should be the number one focus right now. Strengthening that belief system and learning how to truly move forward on faith. Because if you don't believe that you can do anything that you want, well, whether you think you can or you can't, you're right. But all right, guys, if you don't have that type of unconditional support, reach out. New group is starting Monday. Let us be that support until family and friends come around. But I hope that this helps. And all right, guys, get out there and make it awesome.